ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधा दक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
यस्यादं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै
तस्मै नमः। Om. So, namaste once again, everyone.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. So we are seeing the 23rd verse of the 7th chapter. And from the 20th verse of this chapter, Lord Krishna is dealing with the topic of Sakama Bhakti, a bhakti or worship through which a person seeks everything other than God, the infinite. So first Krishna talked about the plus points of Sakama Bhakti, and he pointed out that Sakama Bhakti is also perfectly okay. It is not wrong to entertain Sakama Bhakti. By Sakama Bhakti, a person does not spiritually fall. And not only that, Sakama Bhakti is very much valid. And if it is properly practiced, Sakama Bhakti can give the phalam also. So all these are all plus points of Sakama Bhakti. And in this sloka, the 23rd sloka, Krishna is talking about the minus points of Sakama Bhakti, which we were discussing towards the end of the last class. And the minus point is that Sakama Bhakti, however sacred or great it may be, it can give only finite result. Either in the form of money or children or possession or position or even higher lokas, it can give But one should remember that all of them are finite in nature. And being finite in nature, they can give only pleasure for a limited time. They can only give ananda or happiness for a limited time. And since they can give pleasure only for a limited time, a time will come when those joys will be lost, when those pleasures will be lost. And at that time, certainly, they will give you pain. And therefore, every finite pleasure, according to Vedanta, is potential pain. And the pain that they can give will be directly proportional to the pleasure that one gains. And therefore, all sakama bhakti will keep a person within samsara only, which involves temporary pleasure, pain, again temporary pleasure, again pain. So samsara will continue in sakama bhakti. A person may not fall, all right. Spiritually, he may not have a fall, but a person will not spiritually grow also through sakama bhakti. And in this context, I was mentioning that the defects of sakama bhakti can be classified into three varieties. The first is dukkha mishritva. All worldly accomplishments are mixed with equal amount of pain also. The second defect we discussed was atriptikaratva. Since every accomplishment is finite in nature, limited in nature, the joy in achieving something has a short life. No human being will be satisfied with any amount of whatever he or she has. There is always this urge, ye dil mange more. The alam buddhi never comes. So, atriptikaratvam. And the third and the final defect is bandhakatva. Once we are used to these accomplishments, that status, that name, that fame, that attention, special treatment, having enjoyed all that, we can never think of losing them. Actually, all these, they lead to some sort of addiction. I have actually come across some businessmen who are so deeply entrapped in the business that even if they want to think of retirement, they cannot get away. In fact, there is one person just living opposite to my house. He's a big businessman. And many times he has told me in a private conversation, he says, I feel like leaving all these things, running away, but I can't. So I have to manage so many things. He has got a huge number of employees, almost 3,000 crores liabilities to banks. So he just can't, even think of forget retirement. He can't even think of taking a day off. It's like, riding on the back of a tiger. If one tries to get down, the tiger will swallow. But you continue riding, someday you'll have to get down, isn't it? So it is a situation like that. And even assuming that you have got an opportunity to retire, you have been a very big position in the office, the company or the government, okay, even big government office, they're given you a big house and all that, servants, so many things. Retiring means what? Losing all that you have been seemingly enjoying all this while. And that's why, many people after retirement, they suffer. Because the importance in the society is gone. Previously, I had a position in the society. Even in the family, I had an important role as a breadwinner. Everyone used to listen to me, consult me. Suddenly, one day, I find the position is gone. As we saw in the second chapter, Sambhavitasya cha akirtihi maranat atirichyate. I hope you remember this sloka. Maranat atirichyate, it is worse than even death. So, having enjoyed all those things, I get addicted to them. And without them, I cannot enjoy a happy or imagine a happy life. And this addiction or slavery or weakness is the third defect, bandhakatvam. And all these are the result of what? Sakama bhakti. And therefore, what Krishna wants to say is, Sakama bhakti, no doubt, is good, very useful to begin with. And also will deliver the three Purusharthas, Artha, Kama, and Dharma. But one should also understand its weakness, its drawbacks from a spirituality point of view. Sakama bhakti will keep a person in samsara only. In Sakama bhakti, even though there is material progress, there is spiritual stagnation. Materially, it is positive because money is there, family is there, everything is there. There is progress, the person is joyful. But from a spiritual angle, Sakama bhakti will keep the person in spiritual stagnation. And that is what happens to most of us, isn't it? Once we have got into Grihastha till the end of our life, we continue in the Grihastha. We don't even think of, growing beyond Grihastha. Leading a life of a Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha does not necessarily mean that you should leave everything and go to a jungle and stay and all that, to a vanam. No. Living in your own house, living in your own apartment, you can live with the spirit of a Vanaprastha. Engaging in upasana. First important thing is, even between spouses, not interfering in each other's life. Which is what you have been doing all along in the Grihastha Ashrama. Stop it. It is gone. Grow out of that. So we must, in our life, set a goal. I was a brahmachari for so long, then I got into Grihastha Ashrama. I have now fulfilled all the aspirations of Grihastha Ashrama, not only my aspirations, but also the aspirations of my family. Children are grown up, they are settled, or even married. What more I want? I should now turn my attention towards spirituality. Prepare for the next stage. So, even though there is no spiritual fall in Sakama Bhakti, there is no spiritual progress either. It is like running on a treadmill. You are running all right, but not covering any distance. Of course, Sakama Bhakti is not a Nishiddha karma, where there is spiritual fall. That will not happen. But you will not grow also. Only in Nishkama karma, there is spiritual growth. In Sakama karma, there is neither spiritual growth nor spiritual fall. but there is spiritual stagnation. That means what? Samsara will continue. All your emotional problems will continue. The bondage will continue. Only thing is, a Sakama Bhakta becomes a religious samsari. And the only difference between an atheist and a Sakama Bhakta is that even though both of them cry because of samsara, atheist does not cry in front of God. Whereas this religious Sakama Bhakta cries in front of God. But in both cases, crying will continue. And that is what is said in this shloka. Now we'll see the shloka meaning. Tesham. These people who are Sakama Bhaktas are Alpamedhasam. They are unintelligent people, indiscriminate people. Why? Because through the very same worship, they could have sought the infinite moksha. But instead of seeking the infinite from the Lord, they have chosen a finite result. So we can imagine, Bhagavan has got two pockets, right, in his pant or coat or whatever he is wearing. All visualization. In one pocket, he has got the infinite, Shreyas. Another pocket, there is finite, Prayas. And Bhagavan's both hands are inside the pockets. So that whoever asks anything, he can immediately take out and give the benefit to the devotees. Then he is waiting. He sees a devotee is coming to him. He wants to see what a devotee asks after doing namaskar. So one person says, "Hey Bhagavan, I have been suffering from this water problem in Chennai or wherever he is. It should be solved." Another person says someone in the family should be married. Another person says, "Oh, I am a businessman. I should get that particular tender." Maybe another person say, "I should win 1 crore in Kaun Banega Karodpati," that show. Everyone asks for something except moksha. Therefore, Bhagavan's one hand is always busy giving, 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 giving. And the other hand is stuck in the moksha pocket because nobody is asking. In fact, if you ask for moksha, it is very, very quickly he will give. Because there is no queue, there is no, he will just take out and then give you moksha. No competition. And therefore, Krishna says, Alpamedasam, unintelligent people. They choose to ask for the wrong thing. They have a wrong destination. So Alpamedasa means Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka Rahitanam. Vairagya Rahitanam. Alpamedasam. And therefore, they are what? They are Artha Artharthi Bhaktas. They are those unintelligent ones. And they will certainly get phalam, but that result will be in the form of money, name, fame, position, people. They will get all those results. But what is the tragedy? Krishna says, Tat phalam antavat bhavati. Means those results are finite in nature. Money will be exhausted. Even the highest position you have, you will have to vacate it. That's why in the 9th chapter, where more or less Krishna talks about the same theme, he will say, even Indra Indra Devata will have to vacate his position and become an ordinary member in the Bhuloka. We will see that when we come to the 9th chapter. He says, Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam chine punye martyalokam vishanti. You have to come back to Bhuloka from where you started. And in fact, Mundaka Upanishad goes one step further. It says, Nakasya prishtete sukrutenu bhutvemam lokam heenataram va vishanti. Sukrute anubhutvemam. After enjoying a life in heaven, when they return, then even a human birth is not guaranteed. They may even get an inferior janma as an animal, insect, worm, or a plant. Therefore, even if you have earned a lot of punyam and you go to Swargaloka, and it is a new kalpa and you are appointed as Indra Devata or Vayu Devata or Yamadharma Raja, because all these are appointments. A jiva only becomes all these devatas. But there is a retirement for the devata, end of the kalpa, they will all be gone. Then a new set, another creation cycle, new set of jivas will occupy those positions. Therefore, antavat means finite in nature. It has an end. And whose mistake it is? Krishna says, don't blame me. I have got both hands in the pockets. I am ready to give what anyone asks for. You ask for prayers, you will get prayers. You ask for shreyas, you will get shreyas. But if you choose the wrong goals, don't blame me or curse me or criticize me. Don't go to the temple and cry, oh, you are, a very partial person. You are not looking at me at all. I am suffering. Please relieve me from my suffering and all that. I will do that also. But you are asking for wrong things, for temporary enjoyment. You are asking for things. If you ask for things which will give you a permanent, eternal peace and joy, I will give you that also. So he says, Devan Deva Yajaha Yanti. The worshippers of finite devatas will get finite results, which means Sakama Bhaktaha Antavat Phalam Prapnoti. So here, Devan Deva Yajaha. Devan means finite deities. Deva Yajaha means who pray, who worship. So this is symbolic language for Sakama Bhakti. So Sakama Bhaktas will attain finite result. Devan Yanti. Here the word Devan represents finite result, like higher position, wealth, etc. As I said, even positions of Indra Devata, Yamadharma Raja, Brahmaji also. Brahmaji is a position. Where according to the scriptures, all the gods in heaven are none other than ordinary jivas who have got their exalted position because of their punya karma. And that's why, Yamadharma Raja says in Kathopanishad, Janamyaham Shevadhiritya Nityam Na Shadruvaihi Prapyatehi Dhruvam Tat. He says, even my position, the Yamadharma Raja is a position. He tells Nachiketas, you can become Yamadharma Raja. Similarly, you can become Indra, you can become any one of the devatas. Everything is a finite person. As I said, even Brahmaji is a finite devata post. You can become Brahmaji. But then even that Brahmaji will have to vacate that post when the term comes to an end. Therefore, Deva Yajaha, Sakama Bhaktaha, Devan Parichinna Phalam Yanti. Whereas, Mad Bhaktaha, my devotees, my worshippers, worshippers of Krishna the infinite, who represent Nishkama Bhakta, the intelligent ones, Vivekinaha, Jignasu Bhaktaha, Mumukshavaha, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha, those real ones, Mam Apiyanti, they come to me. They attain me, they reach me. So we should remember here, me does not represent finite Krishna Shariram. Krishna's Shariram or Krishna's body, which is the subject matter of Bhagavata Purana, is finite. Therefore, going to Krishna is attainment of infinite, which is represented by finite Shariram in this avatara. So here, the body of Krishna symbolizes the infinite Brahman. So Mad Bhaktaha, Nishkama Bhaktaha, Mam Yanti means Purnatvam Yanti, Moksham Yanti, Jivan Muktim Labhante. So he is contrasting, comparing and contrasting between Sakama Bhakti and Niskama Bhakti. And the message he is giving is, Sakama Bhakti is not a problem. Start with that, but don't remain in that. Don't get stagnant with Sakama Bhakti. He continues. Avyaktam Vyaktimapannam Manyante Mama Buddhayaha Param Bhavamajanantaha Mama Avyaya Mama Avyayamanutamam Mama Avyayamanutamam. So the Anvaya of this sloka is Ajanantaha Mama Param Bhavam Avyayam Anuttamam Abuddhaya Manyante Mam Avyaktam Apannam Vyaktim. Ajanantaha, not knowing, Mama Param Bhavam, my supreme nature, Avyayam, which is changeless, immutable, Anuttamam, unsurpassed, Abuddhayaha, the indiscriminate, foolish ones, Manyante, consider, Avyaktam, to be unmanifest, Apannam, which has assumed, Vyaktim, manifestation. So, not knowing my superior nature, which is changeless and unsurpassed, the indiscriminate ones consider me to be the unmanifest, which has assumed manifestation. A very beautiful sloka. So, whenever we talk of creation, we talk of what? we talk of cycle. Manifest becoming unmanifest and unmanifest becoming manifest. Isn't it? Krishna says, if you are understanding and looking at the creation from that perspective, you are an unintelligent person. Because you have not understood what is behind this creation, the reality of the creation. And we'll discuss about that later. I will again go somewhere. So here Krishna talks about two types of people. One set of people who have not understood God properly, and the other set who have understood God properly. Previously, if you remember, while talking about the nature of God, Krishna pointed out that I have got two aspects. Para Prakriti and the Chetana Tattvam, and Apara Prakriti, the Jada Tattva. The Chetana Amsha and Achetana Amsha. So the Chetana Tattvam consciousness is called the higher nature of God. And Achetana Jada Tattvam is the lower nature of God. This Krishna has already told. Now, the ignorant people are the ones who see only the inferior nature of God and mistake the physical body of the Lord to be the real God. And we have also discussed physical body of God is Apara Prakriti. Must all remember all our previous discussions, get connected. So even Krishna's body comes under matter principle only. And therefore it is only Apara Prakriti. And when I look upon God as a personality with the body, I take God as the one who is subject to arrival and departure. All that we have discussed. But I am just recalling them in the context of this sloka. So departure means what? The visible body will disappear after the avatara job is done. And all these are talked about in the Puranas, Bhagavada Purana. Krishna's disappearance and departure is talked about. It is said that at the time of avatara, the shariram comes, and after the avatara, the shariram goes. Therefore, the apara prakriti Ishvara is subject to arrival and departure. And the Gopika Gitam part of Bhagavatam is all centered around this disappearance, appearance of the apara prakriti Krishna's body. And Krishna says they are all ignorant people. They are unintelligent people. They are deluded devotees. Whereas those higher devotees who know the para prakriti aspect of Ishvara, which is the consciousness principle, that is the higher aspect of God, which is not subject to arrival and departure. Consciousness is all pervading, never subject to arrival and departure. And not only it is all pervading, consciousness is one thing which is evident all the time, isn't it? Consciousness is that which is evident all the time. Swayam Prakasha Rupam, Nitya Prakasha Rupam, Anavrita Chaitanya Rupam. Consciousness is one which is never covered by anything at any time. In fact, it is because of that consciousness alone that we are able to talk about all covers and coverings. And therefore, the wise people know that God is here and now, all the time evident as consciousness in me. Pratibodha viditam matham. So they do not talk about God arriving. They do not talk about God departing. Only unintelligent people talk about arriving and departing God. And therefore he says, Abuddhayaha. Abuddhayaha means unintelligent people. Manyante, who mistake the Lord as the apara prakriti, the physical body. They have got a misconception. So the unintelligent, unenlightened, uninformed devotees have a misconception about the Lord. And what is the misconception? Avyaktam vyaktimapannam. They think that the Lord is avyakta, means is unmanifest. And again, vyaktimapannam, he appears again. And in fact, this kind of a belief is unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, it is reinforced in the Purana stories. And that's why I keep saying, even our scriptures, they have got a grading, gradation. You start in the childhood with itihasas. You are told the Mahabharata stories, Ramayana stories, maybe by your parents or grandparents. Very fascinating. Then as you grow a little more, you are told stories from the Puranas. Very nice stories. So many Puranas are there. But there the whole teaching of our literature stops. Because the people who are teaching don't know the next stage, which is Smriti Granthas, Bhagavad Gita, etc. They don't know anything about it. And then what to talk about Gita? Then the final stage is get into Shruti, the Vedas, the Upanishads. So even in one's life, one must keep on growing like this. Itihasa to Purana, Purana to Smriti Granthas to Shruti. And what happens is, because we are stuck at the Purana level, we find stories like, devotees perform tapas for the Lord to appear. And the Lord appears. In films and all, they show it very nicely. TV, serial and all, isn't it? Out of nothing, the Lord comes and says, Oh Bhakta, I am very, very pleased with your tapas. What do you want? The Bhakta says, I should not die. The Lord says, Tathastu. And after blessing, after giving the boon, the Lord disappears. Therefore, the unintelligent people talk about the appearance and disappearance of God, which corresponds to what? The body, the physical God alone appears and disappears. And why do they have such misconception? Ajanantaha. Because they do not know the higher nature of God, which is not physical, which is not the body, which is not even the mind, which is not the Pancha Bhautika, which does not have a date of birth, which does not have a date of death. That higher nature they do not know. Mama Param Bhavam, they do not know. My higher nature, they do not know. They do not know my Chaitanya Swarupam, which is everywhere all the time and ever evident. In fact, you are able to listen to every word of mine. Mine means I'm talking about myself. Because you are a consciousness principle. If you are conscious of the first word, you have consciousness. You are conscious of the second word, you have the conscious. And suppose I stop talking when there is silence. Are you conscious of the silence or not? If you if you are not conscious of the silence, you cannot even talk about silence. Therefore, whether there are thoughts or no thoughts, whether there are sounds or no sounds, forms or no forms, consciousness is always there. And that consciousness is there, which is Parambhavam, that Satchidananda Swarupam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Swarupam. Ajananta hai, they do not know. They have not attended Bhagavad Gita class. They have not attended Upanishad class. They do not know. Every time they get an opportunity, they say, I don't have time now. I've got a family to look after. I've got a job to look after. I will think about all this after my retirement. And after retirement also, you find that go to a club, play cards, carom board, indoor games. Even if you happen to be in a place, a senior citizen home like Nana, Nani, etc., 95% or even 99% of the people, they're interested only in all these things, playing cards. Never even think of Bhagavan. They will go to the temple. That's it. They know nothing about the higher nature, which is the real nature of God. Everything else is apara prakriti, just appearance. And what is the glory of that nature? He says, avyayam. It is never subject to change. Whereas Krishna's physical body is only an inferior form of Krishna because it is subject to change. First he was baby Krishna, then boy Krishna, then youth Krishna. Then Krishna in the Kurukshetra war. And then disappearing Krishna. Therefore, Krishna's Sharira is Vyaya Swarupam, whereas the higher Chaitanya Swarupam is Avyayam, ever changeless, Nirvikaram. And he says, gives one more adjective, Anuttamam. Anuttamam means unsurpassable, the highest, that which is the highest form. Apara Prakriti is only lower form. Sakama Bhakta holds on to Apara Prakriti, the lower form of bhakti. Nishkama Bhakta alone knows the superiority of the higher form. And in the next sloka, Krishna continues the description of his higher nature, his real nature. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mamajam avyayam. So the Anvaya is yogamaya samavritah aham na prakashah sarvasya मूढ़ः अयम लोकः न अभिजानाति माम अजम अव्ययम. Very, 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 the whole Vedanta, the Upanishads, Krishna condenses so beautifully in these slokas. Yoga Maya Samavritah, veiled or covered by my Yoga Maya. Aham na prakashah, I am not evident. Sarvasya, to all. Moodaha, being deluded. I am lokaha, this world. Na abhijanati, does not know. Mam, me. Ajam, who is birthless. Avyayam, deathless. Here abhyayam, we have to, earlier sloka, he has said abhyayam. And here also avyayam is, so we take a different meaning. Here avyayam, ajam is coming along, avyayam is coming along with ajam. Ajam is birthless, so we take avyayam as deathless. Essentially, it's all the same thing. Deathless means what? Indeclinable. So, wheeled by my yoga maya, I am not evident to all. Being deluded, this world does not know me, who is birthless and deathless. So, in the previous sloka, Krishna said, he has got a higher nature, which is consciousness, and it is ever evident. And Krishna has also got a lower nature, the physical body, which is subject to arrival and departure. Now, one may have a doubt. If consciousness is ever evident, and if consciousness is the higher nature of God, how come the people miss the ever evident higher nature? How come people are running after the inferior lower nature? Majority of the devotees want to have Ishvara Darshanam. I want to see the Lord. And when they say they want to see the God, that means they want to see the Lord in the form that they have seen in temples or in the photos kept there in their home. They want to see the inferior nature of God. They have this picturization of Adharam Madhuram, Nayanam Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram, etc. Some ladies want to have the rasa krida dance with Krishna. They want to play this kolatam, dandiya with Krishna. And they practice it every Navaratri, that if at all I get an opportunity to dance with Krishna, I should be ready for that. You ask them about moksha, either they will ask, yeah, I will get moksha after I die. Or they will not have any clue about moksha. Or they will say, we will see about moksha and all later. Let me now enjoy my life. Therefore, most of the people are interested only in the formed finite God. And even though the infinite consciousness is always available, people vote for the inferior one. And the reason Krishna says is that they are yoga maya samavritaha. My own maya shakti has got the covering power, the avarana shakti. And this idea is also not a new idea. Krishna gave this idea in the 13th verse of this chapter, if you remember. Tribhir gunamayair bhavaihi yebihi sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. He has told already, because of power of Maya, because of the three gunas of Maya, we miss our original nature. We are enabled by the three gunas of Maya, the three gunas of Apara Prakriti. The lower nature or Apara Prakriti, that is the material nature of God, is always attractive, a beautiful form, beautiful sound of the flute, beautiful sparsha, beautiful rupam, beautiful rasa, beautiful gandha. The Apara Prakriti is always attractive. And therefore, a person becomes extrovert and becomes interested in that form. So, Yoga Maya Samavrita hai. So, here Yoga Maya means the Maya which consists of three gunas. Yoga here means combination of three gunas, which is called Maya. Trigunatmika Maya, which belongs to Apara Prakriti. And this Maya is always a Mohini. Very, very tempting. And therefore he says, Samyak avritaha. Deluded by, tempted by, seduced by, carried away by, robbed by Maya. Total, the real nature is covered. Maya has got two Shaktis, Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. Avarana Shakti is the reality it covers, and Vikshepa Shakti projects something which is not real, but which appears real. So these people, their intellect, their thinking power is clouded. And that's why perhaps, people talk about falling in love, not rising in love. I don't know why this expression is used. Therefore, enamored by some finite aspect or other, they are samavritaha. And he says, aham sarvasya na prakashah. My higher nature is not evident to those people because of their extrovertedness, because of delusion. And therefore they are mudaha. So even if people are interested in God, they are interested in formed God only. They are interested only in Saguna Ishwara. They are not interested in formless Nirguna Ishwara. And to get interested in that, you require some viveka, some discrimination. And therefore he says, I am lokaha mudaha. The whole world is deluded by the attractive matter and miss the consciousness. So mudaha I am na abhijanati. They do not recognize the fact, the very source of fullness. They fail to recognize that the very source of fullness, the very source of ananda, the source of peace is within themselves. Even though there is a method of digging and owning that peace, even though gurus are there to help, this person, tempted by materialism, he does not have the time to come to the guru. He does not have time for shastra. And therefore, disowning what he has, he runs for the same thing externally. And Krishna called such people mudaha. Krishna is compassionate. And therefore he says mudaha. In fact, the Upanishads are more strong. Upanishad says vimudaha. Vimudaha means what? Visheshena mudaha. Filtered fools. Uncontaminated fools. So mudaha ayam lokaha na abhijanati. What they do not know, lokaha mam ajam avyayam. So loka means the people of the world. Mam na abhijanati. They do not recognize me. Means my para prakriti, which is ajam, birthless, avyayam, which never decays, deathless, eternal. That me they do not have time to pursue. Krishna is very giving strong messages. Then he continues. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. So he says, hey Arjuna, Anvaya, aham veda bhutani samatitani vartamanani cha bhavishyani cha tu na kaschana vedama. He has told this in the 4th chapter also. Hey Arjuna, O Arjuna, Aham Veda, I know, Bhutani, all beings, Samatitani belonging to the past, Vartamanani cha and present, Bhavishyani cha and the future. Two, but na kaschana, no one, Vedamam knows me. So he says, I know all beings belonging to the past, present, and future, but no one knows me, O Arjuna. So in the previous verse, Krishna said the whole world, that is the entire humanity, is deluded by Maya. And that is why Maya is called Mohini, the deluder. So naturally the question comes, if Maya is deluding everyone, then will it not delude the Lord also? Because after all, Lord is intimately associated with Maya, the Apara Prakriti. Because he has told before, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. So he has said, the Maya is my only, belongs to me only. So will it not delude the Lord also? This question will come because if suppose there is a, between you and me, there is something, some curtain is there. Assume. So if the curtain is there, you cannot see me because your vision is obstructed. The same thing holds good for me also, isn't it? Because of that curtain, you cannot see me. Then naturally, I will also not be able to see you. Therefore, will not Maya cover the Lord? Will be the question. Krishna says that is not the case. I am the master of Maya, whereas you are slave of Maya. That is the difference. Therefore, even though Maya is closest to me, I am the controller, whereas you are deluded by Maya. Maya can make a fool of you, not me. In fact, Swami Paramatmananda narrates a small anecdote of Swami Chinmayananda. This is a beautiful example. It seems the father was taking a child on the road. Then a person was coming in the opposite direction and a policeman was holding him. Therefore, the boy asked his father, who is this? And the father told, this person is a thief. That is why a policeman is nearby to take him to prison. Then, after some time, another person was coming with two policemen. Then the boy asked, who is he? He says, father says he is a bigger thief, and therefore there are two policemen, so that he will not run away. So the child in its mind made a beautiful law, a vyapti. What is that? More number of policemen around, bigger the thief. Then they saw a minister coming surrounded by many policemen. Then the child said, Daddy, Daddy, the biggest thief of the country is going. Then the father had to tell, no, he is a minister. Even though he is also surrounded by the police, the difference is the minister is the controller of the police, and in other cases, the police control the thief. So minister is the controller of the policeman, whereas thief is controlled by the police. Similarly, Maya is around me. Maya is around God also, but God is the controller of Maya. Why? Because he is God, and I am controlled by Maya, and that is why I am called a Jiva. Therefore, Krishna says, Aham Veda. More we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Harihi Om.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Everyone, thank you very much.
Hari Om,
Thank you
Guruji.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Thank you, Guruji.
Good wishes and happy Women's Day tomorrow for all the ladies.
Yeah.
All of you have a wonderful time.
Good. Happy International,
Nari Shakti.
Happy International Women's Day. Good. So,
Namaskar. Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Modi. Modi. Wow.
Guruji,
Yes.
I want.
Thank you, Guruji.
I request you to clarify three things. Number one, Paravidya, Aparavidya, Shreyas, Preyas, and Jnanam, Vijnanam.
Okay. Paravidya, Aparavidya, we are seeing in the
In Mundaka.
Upanishad.
Correct.
See, Vedas are divided into two parts broadly, right? We know Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda.
Correct.
Karma Kanda talks about all mantras, rituals, etc.,
Correct.
by which you attain the three Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama.
Correct. Okay.
And these Purusharthas, when you attain, they have the results you get, but they are finite results.
Okay.
So the Aparavidya means, refers to the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas,
Okay.
which will give you finite results.
Agreed.
Of the three Purusharthas.
Okay.
And in fact, as I said in the Mundaka Upanishad class, you can extend the definition of Aparavidya to all other materialistic subjects also.
Okay.
Physics, chemistry, everything, all will give you what? Only limited or finite result.
Okay.
Whereas the Paravidya is the subject matter of Jnana Kanda Upanishad,
Okay.
which talks about only Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma,
Okay.
which knowledge is required for the fourth Purushartha, which knowledge alone delivers the fourth Purushartha, which is moksha.
Correct.
So, Paravidya, Aparavidya, you can divide. Aparavidya delivers three Purusharthas. Paravidya delivers the fourth Purushartha.
Okay. Very
And
good.
they are mutually, though forming part of the Vedas, one Veda, they are mutually exclusive. Because the purpose is different, the result is different.
Okay.
So this is one, correct? What was your second question? What is the difference?
Shreyas and
Yeah.
Preyas.
So same thing. Prayas means all materialistic achievements. Is prayas.
Okay.
Shreyas means moksha, the highest, best achievement which a human being can get.
Okay.
And the
It is more or less like the three Purushartha and
Yeah.
one Purushartha here. Okay.
These are all terminology, like Shreyas
Okay.
is a terminology used in Kathopanishad.
Okay.
So that is Shreyas and Prayas. It mean the same thing.
Okay. Jnanam and
Jnanam
Vijnanam.
and Vijnanam also. Jnanam means any knowledge.
Okay.
Vijnanam means Vishesha Jnanam, which is the knowledge which is very special. Everybody cannot get that.
Okay.
Jnanam everybody can get.
Very
Vijnanam everybody cannot get.
okay.
For Vijnanam, you first of all require a qualification in the form of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti.
Okay.
So that is between Jnanam and Vijnanam.
Okay.
So these are the differences.
I mean, more or less, it's all
or less same
different
only.
terminology.
Different terminology, different context, different words are used. That's all.
Okay, very good.
Eventually, you have to understand there is something lower, which is something higher.
Agree.
We all go for the lower thing. Very few people actually understand, know, and go for the higher thing. And if you go for the higher thing, you will get the higher thing also. But you will have to work for it, right?
Agree.
That is what is the difference.
Please, please. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank
Hari Om.
you. Hari Om. Any other question? Yeah. So we can close the session with your
Namaste, Guruji. Thank you. Hari Om.
Namaste, Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Good
Hari
night.
Om. Thank you all. Thank you.